Hi, everyone, and welcome to childbirthwithgrace.tv. My name's Ilia Blandina, and I'm your host for today. And as always, I am holding the intention that you will awaken your life power through to your personal birth journey with this class, childbirthwithgrace.tv. Today, we're going to talk about grounding during pregnancy, grounding techniques during pregnancy. And I'm constantly, my teachers and mentors are always saying, go and ground yourself when you feel yourself out of sorts. You can't really pinpoint what's going on. Your emotions are labile or whatever. It's a good idea to ground yourself. And I thought during pregnancy, even more so, because there's so many dynamic changes that are happening in your body. It's really a wonderful time to have some tools, techniques that you can incorporate in your day-to-day life that help you get yourself grounded and feel more at ease during your pregnancy. And you could even use these techniques when you're in labor and early labor. So here we go. So what happens, your consciousness, it's like a stream, and as your consciousness moves along the day, it also is moving along multiple dimensions of time, space, and place. And this is all based on that quantum physics, that there's many versions of you happening at the same time. And these different versions of you are like different aspects of your consciousness. So to ground yourself means to fully connect with your physical aspect of yourself. So in other words, your consciousness, it is, first of all, it's an infinite current of energy. And if you've attended my previous videos, classes, I talk about how your body is an energy system. And this energy system can easily be compared to electricity. So just as removing the excess charge from an object is called grounding, you must also remove your excess charge from your body by grounding it. So how we do this is by removing the excess emotional charge we hold in our body as a result of getting lost in the non-physical dimensions of our own thoughts. And that is also called grounding. Because as you know, when you go about your day and you're thinking, a lot of times you're not physically in the now. You're either thinking about what happened in the past or what's going to happen in the future. And when your mind is dispersed like that, a lot of times that also heightens up some negative emotions start surfacing, or you just don't feel right. So what we want to do is, when we pull our attention, our focus back into the physical aspect, what we're doing is we're in training with the frequency of Mother Earth and Gaia itself. And this allows the energy to move through our root chakra and allow ourselves to be present in the here and now with our physical bodies. And that's very amplified when you are pregnant, because you're going through so many changes on a week-to-week basis. So in pregnancy itself, grounding may be particularly difficult because of the many physical and emotional sensations that are ever present. So this can include any worrying about past experiences or even fears about the future. So when we have suffered in the past, we tend to frequently go back to that past in our minds, and we're consciously recalling negative experiences or dwelling on them, or sometimes it's subconscious You're scanning the world for a possible danger in the present moment based on your previous experiences. So, and that's how our brain is designed. It's designed to keep us safe by, um, but when you have unresolved negative emotions that are um, keeping you connected to a past suffering, and it's happening on a subconscious level, then what happens in the present is you're always vigilant, and you're seeking for what may hurt you in the future. So ultimately, what happens is this results in you not enjoying your pregnancy and the gift of bliss it brings from staying in the present. Because when you are pregnant, one of the things you always have to remember is it's really a very unique time in your life, and for some it only happens once, or there's definitely a finite number that it does happen. So if you're constantly worrying about the past and fearing the future, then you don't get to enjoy what's happening right now. And for this reason, it is so important to heal your past triggering experiences so that you can stay present with your pregnancy and enjoy it. Remember that every day is a new beginning, and you have the power to break free from the past with tapping and grounding exercises. So what I'm going to do is teach you how to meld the two together. So for example, if you've experienced some kind of event that makes you feel unsafe in your physical body, grounding is very good for you. Uh, Grounding pulls us out of those unsafe memories and into the stability and safety of the present moment. So grounding is perfect. It's a perfect remedy for any time you're feeling stressed, triggered, uh, um, you're feeling heaviness with negative emotions, or you're feeling rushed or overworked, confused, overwhelmed, panicked, angry, feeling clumsy, which sometimes, a lot of times happens with pregnancy because your center of gravity keeps changing as your belly grows. And when you're just drained of energy, when you feel completely drained, um, barring that there's not any other physical things happening in your pregnancy, like anemia and those kind of things. Let's say everything like that is okay, because you always want to, keep up with your prenatal care and make sure that the actual physical component of your pregnancy is good. If everything's checking out good there, but you still just feel out of sorts, grounding is a very good exercise and technique to have when you're pregnant. So I'm going to go through different types of grounding techniques. One of the first ones, and probably one of the best ones to do, is just walk barefoot on the grass on Mother Earth. How that helps is that the Earth maintains a negative electrical potential on its surface all the time, and because of what it's made out of, and the whole magnetic field that's around the Earth. And when you are in direct contact with the ground with your bare feet, and you could either be with your bare feet, walking, you could be sitting down, or even laying down on the Earth's surface. What happens is the Earth's electrons are conducted to your body, bringing it to the same electrical potential as the Earth itself. And in other words, when you are in contact with the Earth, its tranquil energy will naturally transfer or to any conductive object, including your body. So just like we use metal rods to ground our houses, or trees are grounded, plants are grounded, animals are grounded. So as humans, we also become grounded when we are in direct contact to the Earth. So, and historically, actually, humans have walked barefoot on the ground, which naturally has discharged any of the negative energy buildup and electrical stress that has been in your body. So by doing that, what happens is your immune system functions more optimally when your body has an adequate supply of the electrons from the earth, which is so easy and natural to do when you're barefoot, when you're walking barefoot. Also, laying on the ground helps. Squatting with your palms on the ground is very helpful, not only for grounding, but it's also a really great stretching exercise for the outlet of your pelvis, and you'll feel a lot of nice stretching, feeling you want to go easy when you're doing that. Just, don't do anything that it's painful, but as long as it feels good and it feels like you're stretching, that's a very good position to be in. Also, assuming the yoga position of the child's pose and placing your forehead on the ground with your legs a little bit wider so you have room for your belly is also helpful for grounding. And it also is helpful for you not only to ground with the earth, but also to connect with your baby, because it simulates your own fetal position around the baby. So another great grounding activity, of course, is gardening. Is a great grounding activity. And then now, when you're out there and touching the earth with your feet, one of the next things that you need to incorporate is to bring your attention to the present moment. That's one of the most important things as well. So while you're doing these exercises, bring your attention to the now. And what you want to do, the easiest way to do that is you start by performing a body scan and tapping at the same time. So while you're just tapping the points and you're out sitting on the grass or laying on the grass, what you want to do is, first of all, if you have a predominant sensation, for example, hip pain, you can first tap on that. And you could do that either however way you feel comfortable. Sitting, standing, laying down on the grass is fine. And what you want to do is also bring your journal with you, so you can sort of take notes of what comes up while you're doing the grounding exercises. And one of the things you want to write down is if there is like an overwhelming predominant sensation that you're feeling. I'm going to give the example of hip sensation when you're pregnant, which is very common. You want to write that down, and you want to write, where it is, a description of it. Is it achy, burning, stabbing, dull, sharp, stiff? Do you feel like a tearing sensation? Is it intermittent? Is it constant? Is it throbbing? All these different descriptors, however way you're feeling it, you want to jot that down in your journal. And another thing you could do to connect to that sensation is to give it a color. Whatever color pops into your mind first is pretty much it. You can just guess at what color the pain or the sensation is, and then rate it on a scale of 0 to 10. And what you want to do is then, while you're focusing in on that sensation in your body, is you want to start off at the side of the hand. And I'm going to give the example, even though I have this red throbbing hip pain or sensation, I deeply and completely accept myself. And you want to repeat that 3 times here, and then go through the points and just go, this red throbbing hip pain, 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 and this red throbbing hip pain. And you just want to do that until you feel that the intensity has come down to either a 3 or below. You may not be able to get rid of it completely, but the idea is to get it down to an unmanageable sensation, so that you can then focus on the rest of your body and go on to any other sensations that you may be feeling. Or if there's not a predominant sensation that you're feeling, what you want to do is just scan your body while you're tapping all the points, and just and remember that while we're tapping these meridian points, the other thing that you're doing by doing that is that you're creating a sensation that actually does bring you present by sitting there and just tapping and thinking about, scanning your body for what you're feeling. And by tapping these meridian points, because it is where the energy of your body flows, and it's areas of least resistance, it also activates the flow of energy from you to the earth and back. So what you want to do, you scan your full body, you starting at your toes. What do your toes feel like? Are there any sensations there that you're feeling? Are they hot? Are they tingly, heavy feeling, tight feeling? Just notice what you perceive there. And while you're noticing what you're feeling, if there's not anything too intense, then all you have to do is just notice what you're feeling and just tap. You don't even have to say words. Just notice what you're feeling and move your way up your body through your legs, and then your pelvis, and then your belly, your spine, up into your heart, your arms, throat, neck, up into your face, your eyes, your forehead, the top of your head. And you just want to observe how your body feels in this very moment while you're sitting in the grass, touching the earth. And you can notice also what you see, what you hear, what you feel, and what you're smelling from your surrounding environment. So take the opportunity to feel the grass, feel the air around your skin, look at the trees, see them moving in the wind, listen to the birds, smell the grass or any flowers that are nearby. Any kind of attention to the present moment will help you become grounded in the here and now. Another way to become grounded is through nutrition. And one way is to eat more root type vegetables, because anything that grows under the surface of the earth will help you connect with the earth's energy, because in order for the vegetable to grow inside the earth, what it actually has to get entrained with the earth's energy more than other vegetables. So the root vegetables are very grounding. And some examples of root vegetables, of course, you could probably think of these on your own, but there's potatoes, there's turnips, carrots, beets, which are really good for your blood, by the way, because beets are super high in iron. And if you have anemia during pregnancy, that's one of the best things you can do for yourself is eat lots of beets or have beet juice. There's sweet potatoes, yams, radishes, and then there's some tropical type roots, which are yucca, ginger, yautía, malanga, and yame. So, and these are all wonderful root vegetables. In fact, while preparing for this class, I found a really great recipe, which is a very traditional Latin Caribbean recipe. My family's from Puerto Rico, and my mom would make this recipe all the time, and it's called sancocho. And sancocho is made up of a lot of different roots, especially the tropical roots, and I found a recipe online, so I'll put that in the description, so you can make this wonderful stew of root vegetables and have that. My mom would always make it as one of those type of foods that you go to when you're not feeling well, you know. So excellent source of grounding energy is that the sancocho soup. So let's see. Other things that you can use to ground yourself are grounding stones. When you share your space with grounding crystal, what happens is you have to entrain to match with the frequency of the stone. Rocks and minerals hold such a solid vibration that what usually happens is they don't match your vibration, but instead you will raise up your frequency to match their vibration. So for this reason, it's a really good idea to keep grounding stones with you for those moments you can't get out into the grass. Maybe it's raining outside, maybe you're indoors working, or wherever it is that you suddenly can't, you can't get outside and be barefoot. It's great to have these stones. Also, it's great to have them around you when you are outside, when you are sitting in the grass. Bring your grounding stones then. What happens is if you're feeling out of sorts, let's say while you're waiting to be seen for your prenatal visit, it's great to have some of these stones with you in a little bag. You could get really small versions of the stones and hold them while you're sitting there in the waiting room. And you could also do the body scan exercise when you're in the waiting room, and rub the stones and do some deep breathing, slow deep breathing. You could also wear these stones as jewelry as well. So, and examples of grounding stones, there's hematite, there's smoky quartz or quartz crystal, obsidian, red coral, onyx, black tourmaline, red jasper, ruby, garnet, pyrite. There's one called bloodstone, tiger eye is grounding, and black opal. And there's many more. So you could do a search for grounding crystals, and always have just a bunch, in your purse. I always do. So always good to have these with you. The other way you can ground yourself is to use a scent that's grounding. And scent, it has its own vibration. When you smell a scent, you are either forced to entrain with that energy, or you're forced to move out of that space. So in other words, if you ever had someone walked in the room with a perfume on, and you either really like it or you don't. And if you really like it, great. And you're asking them where did they get it. If you don't like it, you're like, especially if you're pregnant, sometimes scents are very intense. So if you don't like it, then you end up feeling sort of sick to your stomach. You have to leave the room. So scents are very, very grounding. The main thing is you have to see which one speaks to you. And my aromatherapy instructor, she always says, your nose always knows. So even though I may say, oh, I like these scents or whatever, it may not work out for you, or someone else may say, oh yeah, try this, and it doesn't work. So just try them, smell them, and see which one resonates with you. And once you find one that helps you feel a good energy from what you want to do, you can use them either like in a carrier oil, where you could put it directly onto your skin. And by the way, the kind of scents that I recommend are essential oils, because essential oils, they carry the highest vibration and the most original vibration and grounding energy from the plant that they originate from. So you want to always use essential oils. And the way you use essential oils is you have to dilute them somehow. You either have to put them in a carrier oil or water. And one way you could you can even blend them together, but once they're blended and if they're pure, you still have to put them in a carrier oil. Like fractionated coconut oil is one of my favorites, or hemp oil. It's very good for your skin. Vitamin E oil, all that. And you just put a couple of drops in your favorite carrier oil. You can put it in a roller ball dispenser, and you could use that and put it on your wrists or wherever you would put perfume. And it really just takes a couple of drops of what either the blend that you're using, or if it's just one essential oil, then that's just use the one. But you can actually blend them together and use a couple of drops of the blend. The other way you could use essential oil is in your bath. You can put some in your bath. And some examples of some grounding essential oils, and if you notice, after I go through the list, they're very, they come from either trees or very green, or plants, or from things that are in like root kind of plants. So one is cedar, another one is vetiver, it's very, very earthy, benzoin, myrrh, sandalwood, cypress, oak moss, rosewood, chamomile, ylang-ylang, and even lavender. In fact, lavender is almost like a multi-purpose essential oil, because what lavender does is when you blend lavender with any of the other oils, because lavender itself is good at convincing the consciousness to relax into the physical body, it actually helps accentuate the other oils as well. So lavender is if you had to just buy one, lavender would be the one to get. You can use these oils, like I said, alone or blended together in your favorite combination. One way is also you can create a spray bottle with the oils blended with water. So you want to use a glass spray bottle, because you don't want to use plastic because all the chemicals get into there. And you want to fill the bottle with spring water. Don't use tap water because it has too many chemicals, and the chemicals will corrupt the essential oils, and they won't be as therapeutic. Another type of water, if you don't have access to spring water, well, I mean, with bottled water now, we have access to spring water, but you could also use distilled water, is also good to use. So what you want to do is whatever blend you make, which is a blend is when you take several types of individual oils and put them all together, or just one oil, you want to use about 2 to 3 drops in the water. And then you could also get a very small size grounding stone, also put it in the bottle, and you can shake it up, and you could spray that on yourself throughout the day. And that works really nice in being able to ground yourself, particularly if you want to do it quickly and you don't have access to going out in the grass and having that time for yourself. But always try to make that time for yourself on a daily basis. Go out and be out in the grass and do some of these grounding exercises. Another way to ground yourself is through the use of color. Color is a very powerful vibration. Each color has a powerful vibration, and when you wear the color, or you visualize feeling yourself filling up with the color, what you do is the best way to do that actually is you can combine sitting out in the grass and use the techniques of matrix imprinting, where you start tapping on your hands and you close your eye while you're sitting out in the grass, and you close your eyes after you've done your body scan, and some deep breathing to bring yourself and ground to the earth, then you can add this color exercise where you tap on, you close your eyes, you tap on your finger points, and then you visualize the color that you want to bring into your body over your head, like a ball, and then you have that come in through your head and visualize it going through all the neural pathways of your body and all the way down into the cells of your body, especially any areas that had increased sensation, like if you have that hip pain, make sure it gets in there. And then you bring it all the way to the cells of your body, all the way down to the DNA of your body, and all the way down to your feet. And then bring that color back through your feet, all the way back into your heart. And when you do that and you're visualizing that color coming back into your heart, you want to put your hands over your heart like this, and you just visualize with your eyes closed your heart getting filled with that color, and amplify that color in your mind. And then when you're ready, you just breathe it out into the universe 360 degrees all the way around you, and that helps you ground yourself as well. Now, the color used most frequently for grounding is red, because red is associated with the root chakra, and that is the energy center in your body. It's located right between your legs and at the end of your tailbone. And that's the energy center that helps you stay grounded. And that when you're not grounded, that's usually the energy center that is not in balance. So these exercises help you ground that energy center. Another color that is good to use is brown or black. It's funny, sometimes you can associate especially black with negative feelings, but actually, if the intention is to get grounded to the earth, then think of it as like the color of really rich soil that's rich with full of minerals and vitamins and everything that all our food grows out of. So from that standpoint, that's how we're using the color black and brown or red for grounding purposes. So another technique you could use is sound. Sound is a great grounding tool, and it also, there's certain sounds that actually stimulate the root chakra. And one way is you can get a singing bowl made out of either crystal or metal, and there's ones out there that are designed specifically with the sound that emit and stimulates and balances the root chakra. So you can get one of those bowls, and while you're outside, you can bang it. It usually comes with a little mallet that you can bang it, and let that sound just vibrate through, and do that as many times as you want, and that will help ground you. Another type of sound is binaural rhythms, which is these special rhythms that are designed where on one side of when things are played in stereo, the beats on one side is at like 315 hertz, and that are going into your left side of your brain, and then the right side has 325 hertz. So what happens is they actually go in and out, one ear out in through the other, like that. And when you find recordings that have that type of beat, what you want to do is make sure you listen to them with headphones or earbuds, so that way you get the true effect of it it affecting each side of your brain, because that's what's going on. It's stimulating different neurons and different sides of the brain, and it helps connect those sides of the brain, and that is also a really good grounding tool. And many of the guided meditations that I've created have that type of music in the background, so you can go to my the www.childbirthwithgrace.tv, and one of my meditations, guided meditations, is on there. You can click on that and buy it if you want. Give it a try, either the MP3 or the actual CD. So I always use the binaural tones to entrain your brain waves during the guided meditations. It's really good. So the other thing you could use your own voice in a practice called toning. It's like when you do ohms and different sounds like that, but you don't even have to do ohm. You can, when you are toning, what's happening is you're stimulating different areas of your body, all the way down to your root chakra. And the way to do this is to hum a tone. And what you want to do is start high, then keep changing the tone to its lowest, the lowest that you can go. And when you get to that low tone, that's when it reaches the root chakra, and it vibrates, because the root chakra vibrates. Its own vibration is a very low frequency. So because it's at the base of your spine. So, and when you do this, what you want to do is pay attention to the sensations that you may be feeling in your body related to the tone, because as you start, what you want to do is start high, and then as you're starting high, you may feel the vibration in your body, in your chest, and then as you go low, what's going to happen is it's going to move down your body, and then once you get it down as low as you can get it in the area of your root chakra, which is between your legs and at the base of your tailbone, you want to just hold it there at that low point and feel the sensation of your root chakra vibrating. And I'm going to try and do the hum to give you an example of how you would do that. So you go and see how you start up high wherever you are high, and then get as low as you can pop, and then hold it. Another way to get grounded, of course, this may seem obvious, but you want to hang out with grounded people. And some people are, first of all, more grounded than others, and anyone in particular can be more grounded on one day versus another day, depending on what's going on in your life. And for example, my hope is that at any given moment, if you have a partner that's living with you, one person's more grounded than the other. So sometimes it's you that's more grounded than your partner, and you can help them, or sometimes they're more grounded than you, and they can help you. And one exercise that can happen is that the grounded person stands behind the person that's not feeling as grounded, and what they do is they put their hand at the base of the ungrounded person's skull, and then the other hand at the hip, and they stand like that behind you, and they hold their hands there for a count of 10. And that can be repeated as often as you want. And then, of course, with both of you doing some deep breathing. And this is also a really great technique to use with babies. If babies are still crying after all their needs have been met, they've been fed, their diapers changed, all those different things, and they're just, crying. And even just regular holding isn't helping them. Put one hand underneath their head and then the other one underneath their bottom, and hold them like that. And what happens is you're actually creating an energetic circle, and you're helping to become grounded. And many times when you do that, they just quiet right down. I used to do that a lot when I was a pediatric nurse. I would hold the babies like that, especially the babies in the ICU, and if they were all a little bit too frantic, I would help ground them, and it worked like a charm every time. So another exercise you can do is a grounding meditation or and visualization. My favorite, of course, is to visualize myself like a tree, hence my logo. I love my logo. It's the tree with the hands. And so what I do is I sit here, and what you want to do is do a breathing exercise at the same time. So to get your energy flowing, what you want to do is raise your hands up as you're breathing in, and then bring them down as you're breathing out. So you want to go with the intention that as you're breathing in, you're visualizing bringing in the earth energy up into your body, and then as you're breathing out, you're visualizing releasing all the tension, worries, or fears out with your breath and bringing it down to the earth so that the earth can take it from you. You want to do this 3 times. And then after you do that, you visualize all the energy from your head going through your body all the way to your feet and going out through your feet and sinking into the earth and all the way down to the center of the earth. And visualize that wonderful red center of the earth energy coming back up to your body, and have it move throughout all of your body, all the way up until it reaches your head. And what you're doing is and after you do that, you just start seeing yourself become a tree, and start seeing roots grow from your feet and going all the way back down again into the center of the earth, and hooking your roots all the way down. And again, you visualize all that energy from the roots that you've mentally grown into the earth coming back all the way from the center of the earth, and pull that energy once again back through your whole entire body. And each time you go into the earth and come back out, maintain that breath and maintain the intention that as you pull the energy from the earth up into your body, it's recharging you, it's grounding you, and then as you breathe out, then all the energy that is whatever blocks that you're having in your body is all going back to the earth, so that the earth grounds you and regenerates you at the same time. Another exercise you can do, another technique, is using a salt bath. You don't want to use regular salt. Regular salt is not good for you. And even just for nutritional purposes, you don't want to use regular salt. You always want to either have sea salt around, or there's solar salt, sulfur salt, Hawaiian salt, Himalayan salt, and the Himalayan, the sea salt is great to eat. Another one for a bath is Epsom salt. You can use that. And what salt does is it also has negative ions that pull away any of the positive ions that are heavy, full of heavy emotion. So salt heals the physical body because it holds one of the most purifying vibrations on the planet. So because they're like little crystals as well. So you can use it to neutralize any negative energy in healing crystals as well. So like any crystals that you buy, you can actually clean them with salt water, and that will help get rid of any negative energy that may have traveled with them in transport. And so for a bath, what you want to do is take about 1 to 2 cups of the high quality salt, whichever salt you want, put it in the bath water, and then you could also add your favorite grounding stone in there and your favorite essential oil, a few drops of your favorite essential oil, and then immerse yourself for 20 minutes. And that kind of bath is very grounding as well. The other thing you need to consider is to maintain your strength and your physical body. And the way we do this, of course, is through exercise, eating healthy foods, and the foods that we should be eating should be as fresh as possible. So the fresher they are, the closer they are coming from earth, the dirt, the better they are for you. So try to eat as many raw fruits and vegetables as possible, and avoid highly processed foods. So because all that, when it becomes processed, the original earth vibration becomes less and less, and it ends up not being isn't nutritious for you. So that's very, very important, especially during pregnancy, well, throughout your whole life anyways. So before pregnancy, during, after, and for your children. So it's just a good thing to do. So basically, the ability to consciously ground yourself is just an overall important tool to have when it comes to your spiritual practice and adjusting to the weekly changes your body goes through during pregnancy. Because as you learn to master your body and your feelings, your emotions, you're better able to transcend all the aches, pains, worries, and fears that may surface during your pregnancy or childbirth and even beyond, especially during parenting. This will help you just be fully engaged and conscious while you're pregnant, and especially during the birth process. If you work on this prior to childbirth, because remember, childbirth, it's one of those situations where things are happening out of your control. So what you want to do ahead of time is prepare your mind and your body so that when you go into the rhythm of the contractions of childbirth, that they're not stimulating or triggering you to have an emotion, a negative emotional mindset during that time, because it's what happens if you haven't prepared mentally for that birth. What tends to happen is all the negative emotions come up to the surface, and that actually amplifies the pain sensations of the contractions, and then you don't see the contractions just as contractions helping your baby to move down the birth canal. Instead, they just become pain, and you feel, and you really just want to run away from it, and it's just completely opens you up for all the hormones of the stress cycle, and that fight, flight, freeze cycle that ends up being counterproductive during childbirth, which is the whole reason why I created Childbirth with Grace.tv, is to help you become emotionally ready for childbirth and enjoy your pregnancy and enjoy your parenting journey. So with that, this is the end of the class, and I hope you really enjoyed all these different grounding techniques. And always incorporate tapping with any of the techniques. You could tap while you're in the bathtub, you could tap outside, you could tap anywhere. And you don't necessarily need words. You just need the intention and to just focus your attention to what's happening in the here and now, and bring yourself to the here and now so that you're not spread out so thin in your mind. So until next time, keep tapping and let the loving tree of your celestial family be your guide to awaken your life power to the best possible birth journey ever. And please, please stay present, stay in the moment, and enjoy life and be well. So I will see you next week. All right. Bye.